Hello, this is Alan McNabb, and we have our Cloud for Small Business webinar this morning. I appreciate you being with us, and also I appreciate Beth helping to get me set up and good to go today. Today we're talking about backups, and everyone that's in business, well, and you don't even have to be in business, everyone needs a backup. We all have data, whether it's our business or our personal or pictures or whatever it is, so we all need good quality backup. So I'm going to be talking about that just a little bit today, and especially within the context of business owners. And there are some things we need to think about in regards to these backups, because it's not a question whether or not our computers, our servers, our PCs are going to fail. It's just a question as to when they're going to fail. And so we have to make sure that we're in a good position to be able to retrieve that data and to be up and going just as quickly as possible so that we do not lose business opportunities. So rather than having a PowerPoint today, I prepared a number of screens online, and I want to share a lot of that with you because we're going to be talking about a number of different services you can use, and I'll talk about how to position yourself to make sure you can have economical but still yet high quality, reliable backup. So I'm going to go and share my screen first of all to image building web design, and I simply want to point out that under our backup tab, and I think I'll update this with some more information today, but under our backup tab, we do, as you can see, we do have backup service for our website customers, and also for those customers with their PC servers, etc. But also I have information here about do-it-yourself, and here I've got links to 3 of the companies I'll be showing you today, and I think I'll also put some more on there also, because I'll be talking about a couple of others. But also with our archive version of the archive version of the webinar, we'll also have these links posted on there also, so you can see that. So you can just visit the archive. It'll be available in just a few moments here on our Google Plus page, our YouTube page, and then a little bit later today on our website. And you can visit that, and all the links will be there for you. You can visit those. All right, now one of the things to think about when doing a backup. Excuse me, I did the wrong thing here. Let me go back here one moment here and get us over to the screen that I want to share with you. When doing a backup, we want to have on-site and off-site backups. We want to have a backup that is in our physical location, and then we want to have a backup that is in a regional location that we can get to very easily, and then we want to have a backup that is in the cloud. The reason for this is a backup that's in the cloud, it can take some time to get that backup to us. Some of the services will, burn off a copy of the backup. They'll, overnight it on a hard drive or something such as that, but still that takes time. We want to be able to get a copy of that backup immediately unless there's been some disaster. And so keep a copy of the backup on your physical location, and that can be on a hard drive. Keep a copy of that backup. It may be at the house of the IT person, the CEO, the president, owner, whatever it is. Keep one regionally so that if there was a disaster in your physical location, you could get that external hard drive and physically transport it a few miles to your business location and plug it in. You're good to go, and then you can deal with things from there. And then additionally, in case there is some widespread disaster, you want to have a backup in the cloud. And again, those can be a little time consuming to get, but still yet they're necessary so that we've got the protection there. So we need redundant backups, we need on-site and off-site backups, and of course our backups need to be encrypted so that other people cannot break in and look at our data. And with many of the backup services today, there is military-grade encryption. And if you want to go further than that, you can lock it where you have to have an encryption key to open it, but just make sure you don't lose that key, because it'll be lost forever if you lose that key. You can't get it. The backup services don't have a copy of it. And so you've got to make sure you've got that in a safe location and it's locked up, and you can get to it, because if you forget it, if you lose it, your backup is worthless then, because you can never retrieve that key. So we want redundant backups on-site, regionally, and then in the cloud. We want encrypted backups, which all the good backup services have encryption. Some have better encryption than others, but it's all very good. Let me go again and share my screen. And I want to talk about, for just a moment, I want to talk about backing up websites. And so in the webinar today, we're going to talk about backing up websites, backing up PCs, your local location, and then backing up servers. And so that last one, backing up servers, may be the one that's not as applicable to as many people watching the webinar, watching the archive, but it is still very important. As we grow our business, we are using servers. It's very important to know. If you, the first thing I'm going to show you are a couple of file transfer programs that are very good. And these are used not only with transferring data to from your PC to a website, but also can be used to transfer data from PCs to either a local server, a local external hard drive, something such as that. And so these are very valuable programs. The one I have up on my screen right now is FileZilla. And this is a free program. It's outstanding, it's excellent, it's widely used, and so it's a fantastic program. And you can use this program not only, again, to transfer files up to your website, which if you're doing a lot of work with your website, you're going to need a program like this. It can also be used to transfer data between PCs, between hard drives, and things like that. And so what we do is we use one of these programs. I'll show you another one. By the way, that was FileZilla-project, FileZilla-project.org. Again, we'll have these links online. And we use another one, which is there is a free version. I think it's for nonprofits or individuals, something like that. But there is a pro version which is very good, and this is IPSwitch, IPSwitch.com, and this is very good. We use this one, by the way. And so what we do is we transfer our data between our individual PCs into a common place, and then so that we have a local backup. And so we keep a local backup with all the files on there, and then we back that data up into other locations. And we'll talk about that in just a moment. So we will use one of these file transfer programs, transfer the data from the PCs onto a local hard drive at our office, and then from that we will keep that backed up off-site. And so especially with IPSwitch, all this can be automated and can be set to run while no one is at the office, while the office is closed, and it runs, it keeps the files up to date. You've always got a copy of all your files in your office, and unless something terribly happens, if you ever need to restore anything, well, you just restore it from your backup in your office. And that system works out great. And so IP switch is the one that we use, and it can all be automated. Now let's go just a little bit further. Let's talk about backing up individual websites, and we will talk about some different programs that are available. Now with let me bring the program up here. First one I'm going to talk about is Akiba. Now, if you're running a Joomla site, Akiba is a fantastic backup program, and it is free. You can make a donation if you like, and you back up your website just from within Joomla. You go to the administration panel, you tell it to back up, it backs up. You can also set it up to run automatically with a program on your PC and set the time and it'll automatically do it for you. So if you're running a Joomla site, which we build a great deal of Joomla sites, this is a fantastic program to use. If you are running an WordPress site, Xcloner is a fantastic plugin to use. They have a plugin for WordPress. They also back up Joomla sites, but Akiba, I think, does a much better job and is easier to use than Xcloner. Just my personal opinion. Xcloner does a great job. So to back up a website, these are two great programs that you can use that's embedded into your website. When we build a website, we put them right in there. We show our customers how to use them. Now I want to show you, though, what I think is a better solution. Well, again, redundancy. Okay, so sometimes we'll do the Akiba or Xcloner backups, and this is probably our program that we use most of all, and it is Backup Smart. And again, this automates everything, and we will back up our websites using Backup Smart. We have a link on our website to this, and we are an affiliate with them. This is a fantastic program for backing up websites. You can put as many websites to back up in there as you want. And it will automatically back them up for you. You can set it when to back up. It will automatically do that for you. Now, you do have to be using cPanel hosting. cPanel hosting. And that is one of the most popular hosting software that is used today. We use cPanel with our hosting exclusively. It's a fantastic program, does a great job. I would say probably most of the hosting companies out there are using cPanel, unless you perhaps get into the very, very large websites, very large companies dealing with all that. So Backup Smart is absolutely fantastic, and it uses the cPanel to create a backup. And again, it's all automatic. It does cost just a couple of bucks. I think it might be $30 or something like that. One-time fee. All the upgrades come with it. It is absolutely fantastic. So it's very easy to back up your website. You can do it either from within the website, or you could do it externally. And again, redundancy. We'll do a combination of these, especially from time to time. But as far as our regular backups, every week, got a backup of everything, working on a new project, backing up every day, perhaps backing up the website multiple times a day, we'll use Backup Smart. It's fantastic. It works great. It's easy. It's fast. It's fantastic. So we highly, highly recommend that. So we talked about backing up your website. Now, let me just 1 second talk about this. If you're using a hosting company And if you read very carefully the backups that they are offering, it is a backup that is for something that may tragically happen, like the data center is bombed or something such as that. They do a backup typically nightly or weekly, and that backup is overwritten every time. So there's no archive of backups. Those backups are basically for them as a company, to protect them, so that if there's a flood, there's an earthquake, we're attacked by some foreign country or something like that, they have a backup that they can get themselves back into business the day that happened. There's not an archive of backups there. If you did something and 2 weeks ago, you need to get whatever that is. That they just don't have that. I don't know of any that has that. They all say you're responsible for your data, et cetera, et cetera. Okay. So the point is, as a business person, you are responsible for having backups of your website. That's why we provide that as a service to our customers if they would like that. But we also show them how to do their own backup if they would like that also. So I just want to underscore that. Now let's talk about backups just a moment. Let's talk about backups of the PCs. Now we've already talked about the file transfer programs, which if you're doing a lot of work with your website, typically would be using one of these. FileZilla, IP Switch are two of the best. So again, we set this up. We put a copy of all of our files on in one location. Right now, the size of hard drives are growing larger and larger and larger. We've been able to keep it on a single hard drive. And then from there, we put a copy, we put backups online. Now, I want to show you a couple of the companies that I like the best. The first one is CrashPlan. That's crashplan.com. And the second one is backblaze.com, B-A-C-K, blaze, B-L-A-Z-E.com. And again, all of these links will be on the archive of the webinar. These are companies that are based in the U.S. Their services are very, very affordable. Backblaze, I think, is $5 a month. CrashPlan has a family plan. I think it's about $5 a month. They have a plan where you can back up to 10 PCs, and they also have a pro plan, and last time I looked, if I'm not mistaken, you could back up a single PC with unlimited backup for $7 a month. Now, for a business backup, that is a fabulous, fabulous price. You take that and you compare that with others that are out there, and I mean, the price is just amazing. So we've got CrashPlan. It's got the Pro or the individual. It's also got a free version, which is great. By the way, if you're using it personally or maybe for your family, something like that, your family can back up to one of your PCs, and that's free. And so it's a fantastic resource. So is Backblaze. Now remember, I talked about redundancy. We use both of these, as a matter of fact. And you know, sometimes something will happen. One may be unavailable for some time. My most recent situation was with my computer. My computer worked perfectly fine with one. It stopped working for a little while with one of the others, and the problem was my computer. And CrashPlan helped me get that fixed right away. And again, it was a problem on my end, not their end, and they helped me to do that right away. So when we talk about local backups of our PCs, again, the process we use, we keep a copy of all of our files on an external hard drive, and then we use these two companies to back that up. By the way, let me mention this. When you are looking for a company to do your backups of your PCs, make sure they will back up an external hard drive. Many of them do not. Many of the ones that you hear about the most, advertising, TV, radio, do not back up external hard drives. Now, as a business person, with the amount of data that we're using, we need that external hard drive backed up. We have data that's on our computer. We have data that's then somewhere else, so we've got to have that somewhere else, that external hard drive. And so we need that external hard drive backed up. Again, that's why I've chosen these two companies for us, CrashPlan.com and Backblaze.com. They back up external hard drives. Now, let me make this note. The last I checked, and this may have changed, I've not checked within the last couple of months or so, they do not back up NAS drives or network drives. Network drives are connected to your network, not to an individual computer. And so be very careful about that. Network drives can be very nice, very handy, but last time I checked, there was none of these services where you just paid a flat fee, backed up unlimited, that backed up a network drive, so check that very carefully. So for that reason, we at this point don't use network drives. We use just simply hard drives connected to an external, connected to a PC, and then back that up. All right, so we've talked about backing up websites. We've talked about backing up PCs, and I want to talk just a moment about file sharing, because there are times that we need to do that. I'm going to go and share my screen one more time. And of course, I imagine everyone is familiar with several of these. Let me see if I brought it up here. I did not, and that's fine. Dropbox or Google Drive, we've heard about that, and you can get some free storage with that. But oftentimes we need more storage than what comes free with that. And then you go to start doing the pricing, and the pricing can be just a little bit expensive. That's why we have chosen to go with Rackspace. Rackspace will let you file share, will let you connect all your different devices, will automatically, replicate data from one device to another device, and does all the things you hear about being done out there. Rackspace, of course, is a premier company. They do a fantastic job. They are involved in a lot of different areas, some very complex areas with things going on with the cloud. And so they also have the file sharing. And this is the most affordable file sharing. When you talk about getting into more data than what you would get free somewhere, this is the most affordable file sharing service I have found. And so again, it's one of the largest, one of the most reputable, but last I checked had the best price. That's who we use for our file sharing, also for our CDN, content distribution networks, and we'll talk about that another day. And so Rackspace is fantastic, great price. I think it's like $4 a month. And then I was just on there today. I think it might only be 10 cents a gigabyte, which is a fantastic price for file sharing. And so you can set that up as being even a mapped drive on your PC. They come with software, absolutely fantastic. So with file sharing, that's what we use. Now I want to talk just a little bit about backing up of servers. And this is important. Now, if you don't have a server, your physical location or something like that, maybe you're using a PC and you have some common files located in your office. A number of people can access those files. Maybe you have, like we do, a hard drive as a local backup device. you still want to stay tuned here for what we're going to talk about, especially at the beginning of this next conversation. Because I'm going to tell you about three companies. One I've already mentioned, and the first one has a revolutionary, I think, revolutionary system and process for cloud backup. And so you want to stay tuned just for a little bit longer, although you may not have a server on your physical premises. I'm going to share my screen once again. And I want to talk about SimForm for just a few moments, and then a couple other companies. SimForm is a company, I forget when it was created. It's not been out there all that long, but is doing just fantastic. Was created by a couple of the fellows at Microsoft, and they left there and they started their own company. And SimForm will allow you to make a backup. That backup is put on different machines throughout the whole world. So you talk about redundancy. I don't remember the number. Maybe every bit of data is on 96 different machines. I can't remember exactly. And I encourage you to go here and to read and to learn more about it. And so very, very, very redundant. The fellows that put this together, they're top of the world in programming. They use Amazon to power this system that they have put together. To retrieve your files and your backups, it's very quick as far as these things are involved. Now, the prices for this are very good, but here is the unique thing. It is a sharing that if you will share part of your unused storage capacity that they can use to put other files from other individuals. Again, this is military encryption, that the files are broken down and broken up. Even if someone were to break into a single hard drive, they couldn't make sense of anything. It's just all encrypted. It's all broken up. The files are all in different locations. And so it would be impossible for them to break into it. And there's such redundancy that even if 10 of the computers that some of your data was on had some catastrophic something happen to them, it wouldn't make a difference because the redundancy is so deep. So I was looking at this again today because it had been a few weeks. Of course, they have a certain amount that you can get free. And I believe if I was understanding things here correctly, basically if you donate 2 gigabytes of storage, if you donate 2, you can use 1 gigabyte for free. But if you donate a terabyte, and a terabyte isn't all that much, I mean, we've got external hard drives now with multiple terabytes. And so if you donate a terabyte, you can have unlimited storage for free. Now you go here and you look at the storage, the cost of storage comparisons that they have here, and if you're using the SimForm system such that you don't have to pay anything for storage, you look at the difference here with what we're talking about. It's astronomical. Now, I will remind you that the Crash Plan Pro, they do have an option where for $7 a month for one single machine, you can have unlimited. The thing gets into it, if you've got a business, you've got hundreds and hundreds, maybe thousands of machines. You're probably not going to put each one of those individually on unlimited storage, and you'll break it down. That's the analysis they have here. And so you look at this difference. The difference is astronomical. So you pay just a little fee to be a part of this, just a few dollars a month. You donate your storage to be used, and you become part of the system with a couple of the smartest guys who are behind all of this, operating it, with your data being encrypted. If I remember correctly, it's military military grade encryption, that your redundancy is crazy, and so it's a fantastic thing to be part of. Now, is that the only backup you want to use? No, we need redundancy. And so I do not suggest that is the only backup system that you have, but it is absolutely fantastic. I would definitely include that as one of them. Definitely include it as one of them. All right, so SymForm, S-Y-M-F-O-R-M, symform.com. I strongly suggest you check that out. The next one is Rackspace. Rackspace is one of the more affordable, and we've used that, especially if we have short-term backups we need. We use it. The files load very quickly. It's not a long delay waiting for everything to load up, and we can get a backup very quickly and have it in the cloud while we're waiting for other backups to catch up. And they can be rather lengthy in trying to do that. Immediately with Rackspace gets us a good backup. So we've used it for backup. We've used it for file sharing. Also, let me mention Amazon. The Amazon network data centers all over the world are probably the absolute best. Let me back up to Rackspace for just a second. Rackspace interfaces with them, which is one thing that I really like. That if you're doing a backup, you can work with Rackspace. You could put a backup on the data center, in their data center, and that'll be very good. That will be great. But also, they interface with Amazon. And with Amazon, you can put backups in different parts of the world. Now, if you've got a business that's very dependent on backups, maybe you have you're a military contractor or something like that. Maybe you're supplying to another business that is a military contractor. Backups are even more critical. So with Rackspace, what I like about them, and I did a live chat with one of their people today just to make sure they still have this option without me taking time to go and dive down into it. With Rackspace, you choose where you want your backup to be located at. You can use the standard Rackspace data centers, and then in addition to that, for redundancy, you can also go right through Rackspace to tap into Amazon and then choose to put backups in different locations around the world. Now, with Amazon, it does get a little bit more expensive because you're then paying for data uploads, downloads. With Rackspace, there's no charge for transfers with their data centers, just for the storage. So it does get a little bit more expensive. But if you have a business that has grown to the point of having these customers, such as military customers, then certainly you need to protect that data, and those fees are just something you build into your business. All right, so I want to go one more. I want to share the screen one more time, and I want to talk about Amazon for just a second, because you can put your backups on Amazon also and work straight through Amazon. Now, I want to just scroll down here for just a second, and I want to show you the prices here. Now, with Amazon, there's different types of storage. There's the standard storage, there's the reduced redundancy storage, and there's the glacier storage. And the glacier storage is storage that you're just going to use in case there is some catastrophe. And there's just, that it's not something you're going to be accessing a lot. And the price is down to 1 cent per gigabyte. 1 cent per gigabyte. That's the lowest I've ever seen. And there may be others out there I've not seen, but 1 cent per gigabyte for high quality cloud storage for servers is an awesome price. That's still $10 a terabyte. That's a low price. So as a business, you may be using the glacier storage because you've got perhaps you have the SimForm storage also, and you can get a hold of that very quickly. With SimForm, again, what's really cool, you could use SimForm to have a regional backup, maybe a few miles away, and a cloud backup also. And maybe you have the Amazon Glacier storage. Maybe you're using Rackspace to have a combination. And so there are a lot of options out there, and there are some very good options for us as business owners. And so it's very important for us to have good, high-quality backups. We've talked about today how to have a good backup of your website, and I shared with you some programs. We'll have links to that on our archive of our webinar here. We've talked about how to have a good backup with your business PCs. And again, we keep a local backup for ours, and then we keep cloud backups, and I shared with you the 2 companies and sometimes a third that we use. And then with servers, we talked about 3 companies to use with that, and we talked about different budgets, we talked about redundancy, we talked about SimForm, Rackspace, and we talked about Amazon. So I hope this has been helpful for you. If you have any questions, let me know. You can email me. I'll help you. We can talk over the phone, and I'll explain if you have some questions, maybe just a little bit more. And oftentimes with backups, it's how you set it up to whether or not it's very expensive or rather affordable. And so we'll be glad to help you to do that. So thanks for being with us today. Appreciate your time and look forward to our next webinar on Tuesday morning. Thanks again.